Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Abby and I don't usually make two videos back to back, but here I am. I'm feeling really inspired today because something that's been sitting really heavy on my heart is the whole idea and the thought and the belief that you are alone and that you feel like an alien, because so many highly sensitive people deal with this, because so many of us are born into environments that were never conducive to who our true soul was destined to be. We were told that our behaviors and our feelings were not valid and that we needed to dismiss them. So for so many of us, we did dismiss them, to the point that it took us to extreme anxiety, extreme depression, and down a dark path, turning us into addicts and a whole list of other things. I know I've been there. I've literally been there. And so what I really want to emphasize in this episode of Gypsy Talks is that you're not alone. And I just want to go a little bit deeper into how to validate yourself. If you're ready, keep watching. So if you're anything like me, you are a highly sensitive person. Being a highly sensitive person usually means that you were born into a household full of immature, emotionally immature people. This doesn't make them bad. This just makes them incapable, or it made them incapable of supporting your emotional needs that you needed as a child. So now you're an adult and you're trying to navigate the waters of what it means to embody or even kind of embrace who I am on an emotional level, if you are even there yet. A lot of the times I want to say most people who are highly sensitive are still living in this world of denying that piece of themselves because they think they're too sensitive, or they think that they're too much for other people. They avoid relationships, or they find themselves in really toxic relationships. That's where a lot of us end up having codependency, because we start reliving old wounds of not feeling validated, so we continue to choose people who are emotionally unvalidating. It really plays into such a huge part of why we make the choices that we make as an adult, being a highly sensitive person and not being able to be emotionally supported as children. I know myself specifically, I have really gone into the depths of making myself emotionally unavailable, because feeling for me was so painful, because I felt so much all the time and I had no ability to regulate it, because I was not supported in that light growing up. And so coming into adulthood, I was just using all of these coping mechanisms because I didn't understand why I felt so different from everybody else. It didn't seem like the people around me understood the feelings that I would have, and I had nobody to relate to and nobody to turn to. So I just started using alcohol as a way to completely cope with all of my emotions and my feelings. After I moved across the country and got myself out of the environment that I was in is when truly a lot of the work began. And what it came down to was, it was never that I was alone. It was never that I was the only person that felt like that. It was that I was so unself-validated. I was not able to validate my true self and who I am as a person. I was so far away from my true self that I was out of touch with any ability to be comfortable with who I am. So much of my own personal work has been revalidating pieces of myself in order to feel and find comfort as an adult with the emotions that I feel. And it's still to this day, I mean, it is constant work, especially when you are such a strong and powerful empath as myself. You can walk into a room and really feel what's going on with almost everybody if you allow yourself to do that. So setting boundaries was one of the most important things that I think I had to learn, with whose energy I'm willing to take in and feel and take on versus whose energy I'm going to set a boundary with, and make a firm and fine line over that's not mine, not me, not mine. So going back to feeling alone, being the black sheep, because of these pre-childhood conditions that we were born into. A lot of times as an adult, when we get into these deep, dark emotions from feeling everybody else's stuff or having just certain life experiences and things come to the surface, we don't know. Like sometimes it's hard because it makes us want to like almost shut the world out, because it's like, it makes it feel like nobody else around me is experiencing what I'm experiencing, therefore I'm alone in the world, when that's not the case. It's just that, yes, you are in your own experience, that is true, but other people do exist that feel as deeply as you do, so you're not alone in that piece. So when you are in those moments, I really like to go back to journaling for me, because when I'm in those moments of feeling like I am separate, my ego is separating me and I feel like nobody understands what I'm going through and I can hardly explain what I'm going through, I turn to my journal and I write all about it. I've had this for a month and it's almost full, because this is a part of my life, is experiencing energy and experiencing feelings on a very deep level that a lot of people don't understand. So turning to journaling and being able to go through different steps and really self-validate and take ownership. Okay, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm experiencing. I'm being real with myself right now. I feel depressed. I feel angry. I feel upset. This is where I think it's coming from, or this is just how it is. And then writing about that and seeing where that takes me, because 9 times out of 10, it's not mine. And then once I realize, oh, this is not mine, or this is energy that's just moving, then I'm able to let it go. I'm able to relax and go, okay, that's right. I come back to my human self and I go, I'm not an alien. I'm not separate from people. I am just experiencing something in this current moment a little more deep than other people are experiencing at this moment as well. So just because other people around me aren't having my experience doesn't mean that this experience isn't real for me. So self-validating that it's okay to feel what I'm feeling, and it's also okay to know that I'm the only one in this current moment that's experiencing this specific emotion, and that the people around me don't have to be feeling what I feel in order for me to not feel alone. Very important. If you have any questions or comments around the subject or anything that you want to dive deeper into, please feel free to email me. My email is going to be in the description box below. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. I would really love as much support as I can on continuing to make these videos and growing this channel, because so many of these concepts are just so important for so many people. It really is my goal to help people, specifically even more women, really be able to embody their truest self and their intuition and what it means to like be in tune with who you really are meant to be, and getting all of that other junk and all of that past stuff out of the way so we can move forward. Alrighty, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Namaste.